The film begins by showing a girl who is going somewhere in an injured state. The girl looks very scared. She has a gun and a bag full of money, which she keeps looking at again and again. After reaching a place, the tire of her car gets punctured. She starts walking ahead with her bag and gun. Then a car comes from behind and collides with her, killing the girl. There are 4 friends in this car. These 4 are going to their cabin for hunting, and now they get out of the car in fear. They do not understand what to do now. Then Paul's eyes fall on the bag containing money. After seeing it, he tells his friends that their life is going to change because he was the most greedy person. But the other 3 friends are scared because a girl's dead body is lying in front of them. John tells them that they should take the money and go to the police. On this, Paul says that the police will keep this money with themselves and implicate them in a murder case. "Is this what you want?" he asks. Now John was not feeling all this right, but the other 2 also support Paul because, firstly, they did not want to go to jail. Secondly, they want to change their lives with money because greed had also entered their hearts. His friend asks Paul what to do with the body now. So Paul says that after reaching the cabin, they will bury the body somewhere in the forest and then divide the money and forget this matter forever. After which they put the girl's body and bag in the car. They were about to live when a police car stops there, which is actually looking for the same girl. Seeing it, Paul asks everyone to remain calm so that the police officer does not get suspicious. The officer first looks at the girl's car, after which he starts interrogating these 4. Paul says that they did not see any girl there. Their car had suddenly stopped in the middle of the way, so they stopped to fix it. The officer says that their car looks brand new. Then how did it malfunction? Paul replies that they do not know that. It just stopped suddenly after coming here. The officer says that it's okay, but let him have a look at it. Now Paul was afraid that the officer might see the dead body lying inside. That's why he picks up the girl's gun and points it at the policeman. Seeing this, the other friends get very scared. That friend and the officer tell him to put the gun down. But Paul shoots and kills that policeman too. Seeing this, Paul's other friends cannot believe that he killed the policeman. To which his friend says that now they should think about what to do next. Paul says that they will leave the body of this officer here so that the police think that the girl has killed this officer and run away. After which they sit in their car and leave for the cabin. Reaching the cabin, we see that the place was completely deserted and there was a dense forest spread around. John was very upset with whatever happened. That's why he does not talk to anyone. Both the friends were digging a pit to bury the dead body, while Paul started counting the money so that he could divide it equally among the 4 friends. Now when John called his wife, she said, "I have been calling you since morning, but you have not answered even one of my calls. Can I know the reason?" On this, John says, "I am absolutely fine, and I will return home soon after the hunt. You don't worry." After this, we see another man named Sidney. He reaches the same place where the girl's car was parked. He looks inside, but there is nothing there. Then he saw on the ground that there is a lot of blood lying there. So now he understands where he has to go. He takes the car and directly reaches the cabin of those friends, where they are burying the dead body. Seeing him, all 4 of them were surprised. Paul asks him who he is. So Sidney says that they have a bag of his. He has come to take it. "Give it to me and I will let you forgo." Now they do not understand how Sidney reached here. Paul points a gun at him and tells his friend to search him. But he does not have any weapon. He once again tells them to give him his bag and he will go from there. Paul asks how did he reach there? Does anyone else know about them? So Sidney says that he doesn't know about anyone else, but he knows everything about them. In fact, there are many things that he knows apart from them. That is why he is advising them to give him his bag and he will quietly go from there. Now they do not understand how he is so calm. Neither is he getting angry nor is he saying anything to them. Then they hear some sounds from the forest and they think that maybe Sydney's men are aiming at them. So John and his friend take guns and go to see the forest. Paul asks Sydney how many men does he have in the forest. Sydney says he came here alone, but Paul does not believe him and takes him down to the basement and ties him up. On the other hand, when John and his friend are in the forest, they find a trap there which was set to catch animals. They were looking at the traps when they see a man there. Seeing the gun in the hands of both of them, the man gets scared and starts running away from there. But both of them catch him and bring him to the cabin. Paul asks him where are his other companions. The man says crying. He doesn't know what they are saying. His house is nearby. Please let him go to his daughter and wife. He has not done anything. The man was very scared. It was clear from his voice that he was telling the truth. John says, "Look at his condition. I don't think he knows anything," but Paul says that now he has seen them. If he goes to the police, all four of them will be in jail. That is why they have to kill him. But this time someone else will have to do this work. So unwillingly, John's friend says he will kill him. That man was begging for his life. And seeing this, John's friend is unable to shoot at him. But then Paul points a gun at him and forces him to shoot. So out of helplessness, John's friend shoots at him, which kills that man right there. Now John's friend goes into shock for some time because he killed a person. Now John starts disposing of the bodies. Paul comes to Sydney. Sydney tells him that he killed an innocent person, while he knew that he was innocent. Now you have started getting pleasure in hunting people. You are not doing all this to save yourself, but you have started getting used to all this. Like it is an addiction. Paul is surprised to hear these words of Sydney. Now when John comes inside, Sydney again tells them that he is telling them all for the last time. Give him his money back and he will leave from there. Hearing this, Paul's friend says that if they give a part of the money to him too, then he thinks there should be no issue in this. But Paul does not agree to this. On which Sydney also says that he does not want any share. Either he will take everything from there or nothing. Hearing this, Paul points a gun at his head. Sydney again remains silent and says in a very low tone that Paul cannot kill him. And yes, why don't you tell your friends about California? Hearing this, Paul is completely shocked. He asks Sydney how does he know all this. Then John also asks him what happened in California. At first Paul avoids the topic. But then he tells that last year when he went to California on a business trip, he met a girl there. She came with him of her own free will. But the next morning, she started threatening him that if he did not give her the money she demanded, she would go to the police and tell them that he raped her. After a long argument, Paul killed the girl in anger. Then he chopped her body and disposed it. That means Paul had already committed a murder. Hearing this, his friends do not believe that he can do this too. So Paul tells them that he got scared and he did all that to save his life. The story continues with betrayals, killings, the revelation that Sydney is a vampire, and the twist ending where John becomes immortal and joins Sydney.